How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. New Cardano Foundation chairman. Going to be very exciting. And among other things, we have a very, very important video to cover a lot of essential topics about Cardano today. The path to full decentralization is within view, my friends, and it's very exciting to see all these different things we've recently been in the know about regarding Cardano, and it couldn't have come at a better time with all this recent influx and basically money just rushing into the cryptocurrency space right now. A lot of technologies in the green with the top performers of the day, Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Diamond among them. And today is a very exciting video I'm excited to make about Cardano, and I think you guys are going to be happy to hear all the different developments that are taking place. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. One day, bank ATMs will be as obsolete as phone booths, and it seems as if that day is coming sooner than any of us might have expected. And obviously, it's nice to see the money just flooding into the crypto market cap just as easily as it seemed to be leaving the market cap over this past couple of span of about 3 weeks. We've been seeing a ton of dramatic things happening, and it still continues up till this point. And with the recent, basically now we're going to be expecting the Cardano fork first quarter of 2019, which is pretty exciting. And we see Charles Hoskinson basically giving his 2 cents on where this is going to expect to see. And personally, I think that this is not too far off, talking about Cardano as the gold standard. And I think that as Cardano continues to show its muscles here, blockchain 3.0 is right around the corner. What does this actually mean for the cryptocurrency space? Well, I'll tell you, this is pretty much what we've been talking about all along when it comes to Cardano. I think this is probably one of the most important videos that we've ever made regarding Cardano and the timeline of where Cardano has actually been blazing a trail, essentially leading the standard of what we can expect blockchain to take us as far as the future is going to go. And I think that right now we're witnessing sort of a key redemption happening across the board for the cryptocurrency reputation. And of course, this is coming at a pretty important time. Now, of course, I want to basically add in this sort of reminder that obviously the 2018 is not over yet. So whether or not people are considering this as some sort of early Christmas present, or if you're inclined to see this through more of a pessimistic lens, I obviously wouldn't criticize either perspective to be taken on this, because we still are going to have to go through Chinese New Year. We're still going to have to go through the New Year sell-off, which is sort of a trend that we see quite obvious right around the corner. So there's still a few humps that need to be crossed before we get in really deep into quarter one of 2019. But altogether, I think that this is really exciting to see how Cardano has really been pulling ahead of the pack as far as developing and maneuvering in a way that's going to be pretty strategic. And I think blockchain 3.0 is a good symptom of that. So what does this actually mean as far as where Cardano is going to be taking us? I think that now we've been seeing a lot of this stuff. The fact that so many people are talking about Cardano as the gold standard is an interesting indication of where we're going to be seeing. But so ADA token, and all these different things happening. The fork is going to be necessary as far as these things go. Charles Hoskinson said in 2019 ADA is planning to catch up regarding functionality and utility, and hopes that entire industry will take cues from Cardano's development and growth. Finally, hoping Cardano will be back in top 5 crypto sooner than you think. And I think that's a pretty optimistic tweet right there. It's sort of an indication of what we can be expecting as far as performance goes when we want to talk about the legacy of cryptocurrencies as they've brought us to where we are right now. What with Ethereum in the overall context of thinking about Ethereum as the introduction of the entire smart contract sort of mentality in the cryptocurrency space. Now, putting that aside, I really want to talk about how Ethereum sort of gets a lot of attention because it was in that sort of vein of the introductory of when cryptocurrency was in its prime time, when obviously we were seeing the all-time highs of Bitcoin and these household names had this opportunity to develop. And I think at that point, the Cardano was still in its early phases. And now that we're starting to see sort of this renewed interest in the cryptocurrency space, which sort of was being ignored for quite some time. But I think right now we're witnessing the beginning stages of the resurgence of the mainstream cryptocurrency attention span, and I think that it's going to only develop from here. First thing that I think is essential to talk about is Plutus, which is this programming language Cardano is working on developing, among other programming languages that are going to be making it more compatible with these different aspects of the business ecosystem to be able to be more compatible with Cardano. And I think it's this sort of forward thinking that's been the marker of Cardano that's managed to separate it away from the overall cryptocurrency space, is what the others fail to realize, that others basically, Cardano's often criticized for being too idealistic, attempting to do too many things at once, but I honestly would reverse that criticism and turn it against every other cryptocurrency and say that they're not being imaginative enough. I think that right now the fact of the matter is that there's so many things that are possible and made possible with cryptocurrency, and Cardano is realistically one of the only players in the game, if not the only game in town, that has this grasp on where we're going to be seeing these developments taking us in the near future. So when we talk about things like Plutus and these different degrees of programming languages and how they're going to be affecting the accessibility, marketability, and overall development of Cardano, it brings to mind this sort of reputation of Cardano as the Bitcoin defeater. And I think Cardano's gone too long without the necessary, it just hasn't been getting enough press attention for what it's worth. I think Cardano should honestly be ranked higher, but I think that it's fallen victim, much like many of the other cryptocurrencies have fallen victim to the essentials of the money that's been leaving the cryptocurrency space. So which is why I'm, again, very excited to see all this money coming back and flooding into the space. It's certainly a renewal of confidence and a retribution of everybody who's been talking about cryptocurrency for all this much time. Marlowe and Plutus, which is this development that Cardano has been working on involving the basically working to make programming language and the writing of these languages more fast-tracked and developed. So the fact that Cardano has been aiming this way, and I'm very interested in what Marlowe is going to bring to the table, in particular when we talk about the fact that they're going to be leveraging non-programmers who are going to be able to have their input, which is something that's unprecedented to a larger extent with cryptocurrency, leveraging this time that can essentially be used to make these advancements fast-tracked. And when we talk about the fact that Cardano is undergoing so far with all these different things happening, with as far as the fork, and Cardano releases version 1.4 updates as 88 coins set for major player in 2019. Certainly, this is a very exciting time for the technology. Cardano's making extreme strides to separate themselves from the herd, and one of the key things that they're leveraging to their favor is the fact that they're opening up their smart contracts to non-technical people who are going to be able to have their say in the writing of these languages. And I think that this is going to be a huge milestone as far as cryptocurrency, and I think it's setting a precedent for all the other technologies that are probably going to have to catch up to this sort of innovation. It's very exciting. And yes, I'm very excited to see all the developments that Cardano's been making as far as strides forward for full decentralization. And of course, I found this tweet interesting. I'm sure you've all seen it by now. A crude guide to Coinbase plan to list tokens in coin. They're exploring Remember, they said they'll add ERC20 tokens, first 17 total left, and of course Cardano up there on there. And yeah, all that being said, I'm actually going to be including this link in the description to this fine gentleman right here, this video, the Crypto Lark, which basically goes into detail regarding a lot of these different things, similar stuff that we talked about in this video. So I like sharing different people's opinions, just because it helps us all stay on the same page. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think that it's very interesting to see. The future is decentralized, and it's very important for Cardano to be making these critical moves and using their time wisely. And I think Coinbase is right around the corner. But anyway, now obviously remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Remember, I'm not your dad. This video is just my opinion. It's not advice or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if you guys are interested in telling us what you think, you could always follow us on Twitter. It's at CryptoTuber, or comment down below letting us know what you think about Cardano. But yeah, I think this has been an awesome video. I think we've gone over a lot of very interesting things. Charles Hoskinson's obviously a visionary, and I think it's interesting to see how the project's going to move forward from here. Now, come a long way since 2015. But yeah, all that being said, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel for further updates, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.